Hello everyone. Today it's a very exciting digital interview that would be with a digital media and events producer from the Finnish National Opera, Mikko Hannuksela, who's joining us from the opera account. So we're in the connection with the Finnish National Opera from Helsinki through him. Mikko, good evening from St. Petersburg.
Hello.
To Helsinki.
Hello from Espoo, actually.
Yes. Is there an improvement in the general quarantine situation in Finland at the moment?
Yeah, quite. The situation is quite good at the moment. Today there were registered only 20 new cases, COVID cases, and one death. So it's quite reasonable. It's 306 or 7 have passed away due to corona, and that's not too much. Of course, tragic, all of them anyway.
But I mean, in terms of access to your work, can you, for example, soon would you be able soon to go to the opera, maybe just alone or with your colleagues? Are there new rules maybe in future?
Yeah, I think there will be new rules when the season starts in the beginning of August. Then we will have some more particular security and hygiene instructions, how to behave or how to work at the opera house. At the moment, the house is closed until the end of May, so it will open officially next Monday, but there will be only staff or some technical personnel there working for the summertime. But the season starts in some manner. The season will start in August. Hopefully we can have performances also on the main stage, even with a small audience, but no particular decision has been made about that yet.
Well, let's talk about the project that has proved immensely vital and important during these unpredictable times. But I guess let's start with talking about its history. You said that it began to form in 2014. What were the recordings made before that?
Before we had this media rights agreement with the artist, which was imperative for us to enlarge or have a basic digital strategy. The imperative thing was that we needed some kind of digital media agreement with the artists, the dancers, the singers, soloists, orchestra players. And in 2014 we got a collective agreement with all the groups where the terms were the same. So though we pay certain small percentage fee for the media rights for the income that they have accumulated previous year. So it makes the streaming and recording stuff much easier when we don't need to discuss or have a separate discussion with the shop stewards of each artistic groups. So they are just informed that this week we will do something, or this month we will do something, and the information needs to be given to the artists well in advance.
But in terms of...
yeah. But as you asked, what we did before 2014, we did just some single recordings or single DVD releases or single TV broadcasts, which were separately negotiated every time we had a demand or a request to do something.
But in terms of technical equipment, did you consult other opera houses? Was there sort of a general European standard for recordings of the opera and ballet performances? How you made sure they were on the high quality edge of the state of the art?
Yeah, we did some benchmarking for different opera houses around Europe and maybe something around the world. But of course, the biggest opera houses like Metropolitan or Mariinsky, also in St. Petersburg, they had also started it earlier, these kinds of recording stuff, and of course their budgets were much larger than us. But we had the basic premise that it should be online digital streaming, so the equipment doesn't need to be like a broadcast level, meaning so expensive. Now the technology has advanced so quickly that we can do 4K recordings or 4K streamings with cameras that would have been 4 or 5 times more expensive like 4 years ago. So the price is going down and the technology is getting higher. So it's making our life a bit more easier. But in a way that if you compare to the other Nordic countries like Sweden or Norway or Denmark, they didn't have really a particular digital strategy. They do some recordings or streams from time to time, but not regularly as we do. And I think the main reason for this that the artist agreements are different in each countries, and to have some kind of combined idea for all artists it can be difficult to achieve.
Well, I guess the crucial role was the support from the government here, right? Without the fund from the government, you can't find the means to pay all the artists and to
of course. No,
and to
well,
bring the scheme.
the basic premise here, of course, in Finnish National Opera and Ballet, that the majority of the funding comes from the government, meaning lottery money. And inside the lottery money, of course, the opera house board decided that we want to, and the management decided that we want to concentrate or put resources to this kind of digital strategy, that we have content also available online, not just live on stage, but also on display screens, mobile or TV or whatever. And one of the reasonings for that was that we want to, as this is the only opera house in Finland with population about 5.5 million, less than in St. Petersburg, in the whole of Finland. And we don't have any other opera houses in the country, and the length of the nation is from Helsinki to northernmost Lapland is over 1,000 kilometers. So it's difficult to start touring with a company. So easier to have access or to give access to people, our funders, those taxpayers who with their tax money fund our operations. To be available for them would be also this in this digital way, streaming.
How did you monitor whether the international audiences were interested? How do you know the percentage of the viewers from other countries, and how do you, what efforts do you make to make them larger?
No, at the moment we do have maybe the majority of the viewers come from Finland, but there is also a very good portion of our viewers are international. Our main audience is of course in Finland, because we need to give back to be accessible, to be available for Finnish viewers if we cannot be there live on stage in Lapland or somewhere else. We are in process of course we have analytic information that we get country-wise division where from people watch it, but until now we do not have had a particular need to concentrate to international viewers, as we also do cooperation with Arte Culture Channel, the French-German culture channel that shows our streams or recordings from time to time, and then we are also joined with the Opera Vision, which is a European digital project of different opera houses, maybe 30 opera houses all around Europe, and through that way we also get international viewers.
Can I ask, is there any way for viewers with some disabilities to watch the streamed performances? Maybe the audio description, some YouTube.
Audio enhanced. We have discussed about that we would do the sign language version, that there's a video track, the sign language interpretation with that, and of course the streams that we have are always subtitled. Operas, I mean, ballets are difficult to subtitle, but the operas are subtitled always.
How do you choose from, say, if one production runs for 7 or 8 times, how do you choose which one to perform? Which one is considered the best to record? Which one is considered the best for streaming?
No, well, it depends. We have a lot of influence, a lot of things that influence the decision when to stream. At the moment, when we do with the Finnish broadcasting company, the streaming rehearsal is always on the dress rehearsal, so we don't miss any sellable seats. And due to that fact, of course it's good idea that the streaming is not very far away from the streaming rehearsal, so it's usually in the first half of the performance. Amount of performances that we do, it's not on the latter half. In ballet, usually the ballet is keen that the recording should be on the latter half, because the idea is that the dancers learn, or even more, it gets more deeper, artistically deeper when they have done it many times. So it varies. Of course, then we have our season card holders that we cannot put streaming on performances that we have like a season card holder, tickets sold, because we can't move them around anymore. So all these things affect what we can do.
Can you describe for us the actual process? Like, I'm interested, who decides from which points in the whole to make the recordings, and who envisions what would be the best view of certain moments? Who is this person who directs the whole montage of the production, and whether it differs from production to production, and what are the challenges in capturing things that people see live? What are the challenges of capturing them?
No, well, many questions there. Of course, the process is like that we have a season planning. So we know maybe 2 years beforehand or something like that, the season 22-23 or 21-22. And then there we have premieres here, and then we have reruns or these reprise. And usually I discuss with artistic directors and artistic planning managers from ballet and opera that what they feel that would be important to stream. Of course, there's discussion with the marketing team also, what they think that would be interesting to stream. We have maybe 1 year before or the season, we start discussion, we start negotiating with the artistic team or music publishers, what we can do. Of course, there are some situations that music rights can be very expensive, so we cannot do that, or the premiere is promised to somewhere else, so we can't do that. There are also some limitations, but the basic thing is that the artistic directors, I talk with them, and we agree on some kind of suggestion. Then the marketing on the communications department also have their say, and usually the management team also approves it, which is what can we do about it, and then I start negotiating with the artistic artistic teams or whatever.
Yeah, but I actually, maybe I put it wrong. I wanted you to describe the actual process of filming.
Actual
Because
process. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it depends. It depends because we have two different kinds of partners partners with the Finnish National Opera and Ballet. We have the Finnish broadcasting company YLE, which we do half of our streams or recordings, and the other half is with Helsingin Sanomat, this newspaper, their web TV. With YLE, it is of course it is with YLE. It's like more. It's a bigger productions. They bring their OB outside broadcasting truck to the opera house. They have maybe a team of 40-50 persons coming with 10 to 12 manned cameras, and then the multi-camera director rehearses, because they usually do only premieres with us. So the multi-camera director and the scenography designer, they come to follow the rehearsals many weeks before the premiere is, and so they get some kind of idea what this will be and what kind of camera cuts they need to be. So that is more like a bigger productions. With the Helsingin Sanomat, we do it like a lighter version, that there is outside production team which is less than 10 person. They use our own robot cameras, only 2-man cameras there in the back of the auditorium. There are no need to take any seats out of sale. The multi-camera director and production secretary, they come to follow maybe one performance before that, and then the team rehearses once, and then we have a live stream. But with YLE, of course, the scale is bigger. They rehearse longer, although they do have only one, like a stream rehearsal of the productions. But at that time when they have the rehearsal, they have already these books where they have the camera cuts written down.
So in a way, they bring their experience from recording other musical
of course,
events.
In Finland, I would say there are not many people able to do multi-camera camera directing with opera or ballet. So it's quite scarce talent. We could have the possibility to use international these multi-camera directors, but we have not yet had the need to do that.
What could possibly go wrong during the live recording? And if you can share some funny moments when you save the situation or something.
Usually the scariest part in the beginning that we will worry about if the stream starts in the first place. Then usually it starts fine. There's no problem with that. Sometimes there has been that, of course, these stress points are like the opera, the soloist miking. If the soloists have the mics properly, if they are on, do they work? We had Pellas and Mélisande, this Debussy opera, which was only radio broadcasted, but it was there was 30,000 liters of water on the stage and microphones and electric stuff with them. With water is not a good idea, so it was a bit scary how to mic the soloists. They were worried that some of them were worried that they will be electrocuted. but the audio designer said, "Oh, it's very small mic and it's like a small battery, so you won't be killed." Sometimes we have had in the Shostakovich opera, Lady Macbeth of Metsensk, we had a radio broadcast also simultaneously with the streaming, and they had forgot to take out in usually 8 p.m. There's like a sound signal in the radio that it's 8 o'clock, ding ding ding, and they forgot to take it away, and it came during the opera performance. So now, well, small things, but nothing major.
And you were mentioning the rights. I'm wondering why is the first installment of the Ring cycle is on the special rights agreement, so that that it only can be shown in Finland.
Oh yeah, it's due to some we have the artistic team and certain artistic team member is in his contract there it stipulates that we can show it internationally. Was it 3 months after the live stream, and after that it can be shown in Finland. Of course, when we finally have the whole ring cycle, then the whole ring cycle can be also viewed internationally again.
Well, so did you expect, before the crisis, if the crisis didn't happen, what would be the normal development of Stage 24 project? Would you be just appearing once a month, or what could have been the normal schedule of the project?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, the spring has been strange and exciting because for the first time, previously we concentrated mainly only for our live streams, once per month a live stream, and then we advertised the live stream. Now we don't have any live stream possibilities, so we have been able to, luckily we have been able to pick up from the earlier recordings to re-release our earlier recordings. And that has put a positive spin on our Stage 24 platform on our website, which usually it's like a platform. We don't really advertise it as a platform because it shows our live streams. But now we have had to have an audience to come to our come our website. And of course, in this situation, when there are lockdowns or quarantines, so here in Finland, luckily no quarantine or lockdown, only like social distancing. But people have been strongly suggested that they work from home. So people are home, and in that sense, we have been able to raise up.
I think you disappeared.
It was somebody calling me.
Yeah. Yes, I
Yeah,
can
we
hear
have been
you.
able to. Yeah, we have been able to increase the profile of Stage 24 quite a lot, and the increase of the viewership has been tremendous. Of let's say 1,800% increase compared to last year, or compared 2 weeks before the first recording release was re-release of the first Stage 24 campaign recording was done in late March. So it has been very good for us. And of course, I have been only in that campaign. I have been only just making sure that we have the rights for the old recordings. And so there has been a lot of people from the communications and marketing who are doing a great job in keeping the stage campaign alive and putting information there.
I was always wondering, on Thursdays you have this prayer stream talk, which has to be done without social distancing, I guess. So I was wondering, how did you manage to do them in the lockdowns? Well, in the quarantine situation.
No, well, it is in Finland. It's until now. Until now, it's been a limitation of no more than 10 people. There has been no limitation of 2 person or something like that. There's a max amount of person have been in one place is 10 persons, and in that studio there has been one cameraman and the interviewer plus one or two guests plus or one guest long distance from Skype or something. So the amount of persons have been under the law.
I wonder if you have had sort of a way of receiving the feedback from viewers. Were there any interactive possibilities that people could send, like have a live chat or have a stream that they could watch together, so that they kind of know that they are doing it together with others?
No, well, we don't. During the live stream or the stream, we don't really put like a chat window out. People can comment on our Opera Balletti website or on the Facebook page, or they can put the information on the Instagram or Twitter, but we don't really have a chat window. But with these recordings, there has been a lot of positive feedback relating to that we have been able to put out these great operas and ballets for free for people to view, and it has been very positively received.
You know, at the moment there has been sort of a division in opinions with people who are sort of purists, who say that I'm not watching any of the streams and waiting for the real performance as well. Maybe they have been in the minority, and the rest of us who have been actively watching all the possibilities offered by other houses. And I was wondering, in your personal opinion, how well they were substituting for the real ones
No,
in
well,
your life.
yeah. Live performance is always a live performance. You really, especially now when you have not been able to go to auditorium with hundreds of others people, you realize that this common experience is unique. You can't really replicate it with a live stream. Live stream is another form of making this performance available for people. In our case, we think that the live streams or showing the recordings is in a supportive role to increase the sales for the ticket sales for the main auditorium performances. What we have noticed that people have been worried that the streaming of our work would diminish the ticket sales, but that's not the case. After people have seen a live stream, they get interested. Oh, I want to see that live, so they buy tickets and they come to the opera house to see it. So in our case, it has been only like a positive indicator, and especially if we have a performance or work that the production has been sold out, like Ring. We have only five performances of Das Rheingold last autumn. So it was good extra service for people. If they cannot get tickets, they can watch it on TV or from computer.
What is your vision of the future? Say things go to normal in a certain way, slowly or fastly, and then what would be the stage 24 as it reemerges from the pandemic times?
Of course, because we have been able to get increased viewership on the stage 24, we need to keep up the good line of this successful phase that people don't forget it, and hopefully we can do first of all live streams in near future, and with that we try to keep also recordings available for people to see. In many cases there is some limitations with the music rights or something that we need to either pay for it or negotiate and pay, but we try to, of course, in this sense it is I would say we have been in a very lucky position that we have been able to do these live streams since the beginning of 2016 from the main stage. So we had a good collection of operas and ballets to show for people. And as this has been the only way we can show or be available for customers online, not live. So I think we have been, opera and ballet has been lucky in a sense that we have had the possibility to show this, because I would say that many houses or many orchestras or theaters in Finland, they don't have the possibility to do, have not had the possibility to. Of course, exception is Helsinki Philharmonic and Radio Symphony Orchestra, who have a constant recording and streamings.
Do you think that it would actually change this approach? You know, yes, exactly. Some theaters just haven't been doing them. They just thought that it's not right to record anything. Do you think that now people sort of will remember these times, and to have content for future will be dramatically increasing the
And I
number of
hope so.
recordings.
No, well, I hope so because I don't think it eats away at all the live performance. It supports it. It's like a supportive element in communicating the work or marketing the work to audience who have maybe don't know about it or are a bit apprehensive that should I buy a ticket or not. But of course, the core of the opera and ballet is the main stage in our house, the live performances, and I hope that we can do these, continue to do these live performances soon, either with a small audience and hopefully in near future we can do the sell whole house full.
And you know, before our talk, I was watching a live stream with the director of Comédie Française in Paris, and they think that they could also now begin recording the inside processes, sort of the rehearsal, so kind of to get the viewers inside their life as actors. And I was wondering if it could be also a good idea for the opera to have this new content as to how the opera functions during rehearsals and the preparatory processes and so on.
Oh yeah, of course, that would be that's when I came to the Opera House 10 years ago, the first thing I thought myself was, oh, this would be a so fantastic place to do a true TV documentary, this backstage documentary about how things work. But of course, there are a lot of understandably apprehension that to show the real backstage life. Some people are afraid that they can't be free or express them freely if there's a TVs, cameras recording their work or something like that. But I would think that especially in this case when we are hopefully getting out of the coronavirus and slowly move back to normal, the path normal, so-called normal, to how to document it would be very interesting, because there are a lot of unknowns. There are still a lot of unknowns what's going to happen, and to be able to record it for the future generations would be fantastic.
Yeah, as an anthropologist by training, I'm always sort of even I'm always thinking myself as this capturing camera eye who does the recording of a life near me, and so that's why when I'm attending the rehearsals, I think whether I could be this camera who has the stream inside my head, and it's always good to think that a true camera could have captured what we all see with our own eyes.
Yeah. Hopefully we can do that. But if of course there are a lot of people and a lot of interest to do different things that especially to sell the idea to the staff is imperative.
Do you think that our perception of real performances could be now transformed by virtue of all the things we have seen online? We have seen all possible angles, close-ups, interesting movements of the camera, and maybe the paradox that we wouldn't be satisfied by just a point of view from our both seat in the house, even especially if it's in the balcony or something. So people would be too spoiled by what they have seen and sort of lose the whole range of viewpoints when they come to the opera, especially if they have to be in a mask and be socially distanced when they're there.
Yeah, no, well, let's see what happens. What kind of a live experience we will experience when we go to the auditorium. If there is like one row empty and then there are 10 people sitting in a row that seats 30 persons or whatever, it will be interesting to see. But I think that the feeling of being in a live performance with other people is such strong feeling that no kind of camera gimmick or camera angle can replace that.
But here, you know, I've watched also the discussion of four conductors: Antonio Papana, Marian Alsop, Alan Gilbert, and the associate artist at the Finnish National Opera, Esa-Pekka Salonen. And he was saying that the task now is to create the bespoke content, which would be different just from a stream of the live event, so like not the substitution of the live event that we can't see, but special content that is made for viewing online. And I was wondering if you could speak more about it, as I understand something like that is being prepared at the Opera House.
Yeah, we have, but actually it's the experience that we are creating, this Laila experience. It is not experienced online. It is experienced in the house. So you go into this kind of not pyramid, but igloo, whatever, half circle with four other people. So you're five people. You record a short short voice that is only identifiable to you. It's your and that your voice that you record with the four other people. Then you go to the inside the Laila tent or igloo, and you start hearing and seeing different kinds of sounds and images. It's like a virtual experience. There's music, there is images. You don't experience it in any virtual classes or any other stuff. It is with your own eyes, but it's in a closed environment, and it's done by Esa-Pekka Salonen and Paula Vesala, who is a Finnish pop singer-songwriter, and with this kind of echo team. The technical parts, there will be in the sphere. There are 44 different kinds of loudspeakers, which will create a world of sound that you experience. The work lasts about 15 minutes, and then in your each performance is different, because each person brings their own individuality to that performance. So with recording this small stuff, and there are computers who generate this kind of new content.
So you actually have to be there. It's not the streamed thing that would be.
No. It's the streaming is not. In this case, the streaming is would be diminish or flatten it too much. You need to experience it yourself.
Actually, we talked a bit with Lily about opera's involvement in the new technology development. What is your view of how the house sort of integrates into the advancement of new technologies in Europe, and whether the Opera House is a good place to integrate art and tech?
Well, of course, I would say, of course, it is a very good place to, because in a sense, the opera and ballet are the like grand dames of the performance art, because it requires so much personnel, tech crew, singers, orchestra, dancers. So it's a before there were movie theaters or live movies, the biggest thing that one could experience was like Wagner opera in the 19th century. And after the movies came, then the opera was not anymore the flagship of. But I think still it is quite a. It is a good way. You were asking, it is a good way that we can experience and try new technologies, because it will lead a new path for this art form, either in ballet or on opera, to how to integrate the new technology with a live performance. That's an important thing.
Actually, yes. At the moment, there is a stream of the Complicité show, The Encounter, where they use the binaural sound thing. You actually had to wear the headphones like you are wearing now in the performance, and you heard everything through the headphones. So I've never been to the opera like this, but do you think it's possible that the opera would happen with your headphones on?
Maybe, but the biggest experience still is, for me at least, when the symphony or the opera orchestra plays with the 115 players, start with the Rheingold, where the low basses, or you can feel it. These do nothing similar than the live being on the auditorium with this with a 100-person orchestra. Nothing can replicate it. Nothing like this.
Yeah, I actually think that we will all rush to real life stuff. In a way, even when we now go out, it is now more precious to us than all the streams, because it's real. We kind of
yeah, of course.
Begin to appreciate the coolness of the real stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And for the first time I took a metro last Saturday for the first time in 9 weeks to Helsinki. And it was really funny to see in the park there were a lot of people, and I said, I haven't really seen so many people in for many months. It's really funny.
And you mentioned once to me that you have a choir rehearsal. How do you?
Yeah, we have tomorrow a choir rehearsal. Although
but how do you rehearse?
No, well,
in
the whole chorus is not. The whole chorus is not. There's voice parts. First tenors and second tenors are they are not even together. First tenors are in the other part of the yard. 8 singers plus conductor, and the second tenors are in the other part of the schoolyard with 8 singers and conductor. Then we have was it like a 90-minute rehearsal with that? Then there's a 15-minute break, so we don't mix up with the basses who come at 8 o'clock. The second basses and first basses, then they took their positions. So there's 8 singers. No, not the full chorus cannot be in the same place. So and we are outside. So and there's social distancing. But we had the first rehearsal last Tuesday, and it was really refreshing to sing after 2 months.
Do you think? Can you imagine sort of? I know it sounds almost a dystopian, but can you imagine that opera houses would have to physically restructure themselves to create the required sort of arrangements? I don't know, maybe the cubicles, maybe some kind of plastic separators, and for the singers as well, maybe there would be something like a net that, say, your voice or whatever, your particles don't reach the others. Can you just think about it?
yeah, I can think about it, but I think I think that the resources that the humanity is putting on the finding a vaccine for this is such that there probably is a vaccine, and I'm optimistic it is either the end of this year or early next year. So if we have some limitations or we need to find a solution how to do live performances, I think that will be temporary. Especially if there was 1918, there was Spanish flu, which killed millions of people. So it was temporary. It went away in a time. And I really do hope that whoever gets a first vaccine that works gets it soon.
Well, I had some questions, but there are yes. I wanted to ask, on a serious note, I have been reading many articles about how now the institutions in many countries are maybe not going out of the crisis at all. So they
are bankrupt.
Yeah. So I wonder if you can tell us, is Finland at any danger of such situations for any art institutions, or are they all fine?
No, of course, the situation in Finland is also very difficult. But if we think about the orchestras or theaters and like a national theater or national opera, they are funded by the municipalities or the government. And as long the government or the municipalities have resources or will to keep up the culture network here in Finland, I think we we are in a sense maybe more safe than maybe some theaters in London, which are majority of the income comes from ticket sales. But in sense, I do really hope, of course, there can be some changes also in Finland, but I hope that the corona is not the reason behind that, that there is some more better reason to restructure the cultural field here in Finland, but because at the moment I think that this works just fine, and as we are the only national or only opera or ballet theater in this country, I think, no, I hope, I really hope that we exist also in 5 years' time.
What are the reasons that your team and you personally would take out of these difficult times as positive sort of transferable skills for future?
No, well, no, no. What we have learned here is that you can work from home.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And then the usage of these kind of online meetings, the Teams or Zoom or whatever, that's easy. And I think that the meeting patterns maybe change a bit, that we will do more online meetings in future. The meetings are more compact because what I have noticed that with these online meetings, they are more efficient or more condensed than face-to-face meetings when the story can go over. But that, and of course the agility to be able to find solutions for different things and find positive solutions for difficult times is important. And of course to be positive, to be optimistic that this is a phase, though very difficult and very unfortunate in many countries, even much worse than here in Finland, and I hope that everything turns out well.
As an international viewer, I have a question which is actually very close to my heart. When do you think you would be able to have international audiences?
Well, in live streams, the usual...
No, just like the real, like on the real performances. I just imagine
you mean stage to come to the theater?
Yeah, like I'm imagining what I'm afraid of from my perspective, that Finland will open its doors, but other visitors can't come to Finland.
No, that's true. Yeah, I think the now neighboring countries, Russia. St. Petersburg is very near, actually. I was last June in St. Petersburg, and it was really nice to take Alligator train, and it was comfortable, and the border and custom controls were very smooth. I just sat on my chair, no need to get out of the train or whatever. And I do hope that the Russian border opens sometime. And hopefully we get also Russian tourists back here in Finland. They are important. And of course, Sweden is in a situation that is their philosophy of combating with the COVID has been different from other Nordic countries. So there might be limitations when the Swedish tourists can come to Finland with this situation at the moment. But hopefully the
I can't hear you again.
Or diminishes actively, and we can return back to so-called normal.
Maybe one of the final ones. How do you imagine your first day at normal work?
Yeah. I'm planning that if I can, I would go to workplace next week, but let's see. But if I imagine that when I come back from after summer, end of July, I hope that there is rehearsals going on the rehearsal rooms. They can rehearse dance, they can rehearse ballet, they can rehearse operas. There is some activity there. There is even with some social distancing. I do miss the social connectivity of the workplace. That these unofficial meetings with people that on the canteen and the atmosphere of the house. I really do miss.
I actually also miss the canteen. I was there.
Oh yeah, it's very nice.
I even have, this thing from your canteen, sort of the container for €4,
Oh,
where you can take the food
okay,
at the
yeah.
end of the day.
Okay, yeah, yeah. They
So,
sell the food a bit cheaper at the end of the day, so
yeah, exactly.
you can
So
take it
I
home.
have nostalgic memories of the opera, of the opera and canteen as well.
Okay, great.
Well, it's has been so special to talk to you. It kind of gives me hope that things do go back to normal, because we have to believe they will.
Of
And I
course,
hope
yeah.
everyone who was watching us will also be safe.
Yes.
And well, I guess for Finland it's easier than for Russia. We have a very high number of cases, but I hope
I hope too that the
in the next two
situation,
months
yes, the
it
situation calms
it
also
will
down. Yeah.
stabilize. So
Mm.
thank you so much. It's actually, from my perspective, the positive thing of all the station was that people have become more democratic, maybe because they now have had more time. So I've been having these interviews, and I've sort of been connecting with people
All around the world.
all around the world. I kind of feel spoiled even. So I would really like this connectivity, the democracy of Zoom or Instagram or whatever, to
Mm.
continue even when we can't see each other in person. So
Yeah.
thank you to the opera for giving us this platform for the talk. Please continue watching the Stage 24
Yes, true.
productions. I think that they are amazing. I've been watching them from Russia too.
Okay,
And
excellent.
also, I'm learning Finnish through them because they're subtitled,
Okay.
so I can see the subtitles.
That's great.
Thank you so much, and good luck to the house in restoring itself to the normal schedule,
Mm.
and hopefully see you at some of the performances
Okay, thank you. Hopefully you come
in
to
autumn.
Helsinki soon. Yes. Okay, have a
Thank
great
you so much, and
thank you.
greetings from St. Petersburg
Okay,
again.
спасибо.
Kiitos.
Kiitos, kiitos. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.